What's going on, everyone? Park Life Nerds here. Now, if you're like me, when you play new Pokemon games, you don't research them one bit, which means that when it comes to doing your first playthrough, you end up sticking with some of the tried and tested Pokemon from previous playthroughs, which, yeah, it's easier done, but you end up having a few favourites and a few that you end up realising are on your team a lot more than others. So I put together a list of my top 5 most used teams in playthroughs throughout all the generations. Enjoy! Okay, so number 1 on my list is Gyarados. I've been using this Pokemon since Generation 1. I am that sucker that buys the 500 Pokédollar Magikarp next to the cave. Grind that one down, level 15 you learn Tackle, as everyone knows by now, and then evolve it into Gyarados, teach it Bubble Beam from Misty, and away you go. That was my water Pokemon, because obviously I chose Charizard all the time. This was a pretty cool Pokemon. It learnt Surf. I taught it Surf, get it to get Ice Beam. You can sweep anything. Silver, you get the red Gyarados, so obviously that became my water Pokemon. In other playthroughs as well, I just think it's a consistent on the team. I think I had a Mega Gyarados at one point because, Megas. I think the only game I really never used it was Sapphire, mainly because I choose Mudkip as a starter there, and, can't have too many water Pokemon. But yeah, Gyarados, number 1. Number 2 Pokemon that I used a lot through playthroughs is Pelipper. Ever since Sapphire I've used this one. Basically I caught a Wingull at the start. It was a water flying type. I thought that was quite unique at the time, a flying bird. Not really a fan of seagulls in real life, but hey, I had this one. And then again, teach it Surf, teach it Fly. That's 2 HM moves down. Very useful to have throughout the game. Yeah, and then never counted it in other games and just thought, you know what, HM Slave, let's get it going. And yeah, Surf just sweeps stuff, so Pelipper was a great choice. And we have another Gen 1 Pokemon here. We have Taurus, because why not? It is a beast powerhouse. In Gen 1 it was absolutely devastating. Got a bit nerfed in later generations, but when the opportunity came to get one early in the game, I definitely had it. Again, you're going to hear this a lot. Surf was a good move to put on it. But yeah, it was such a cool Pokemon to have. Thrash is such a good move. As long as you don't go a bit crazy at the end of it. The only problem was in the original games, it took me so long to catch it in the Safari Zone. Most recent playthrough I had a Taurus was Ultra Sun. So yeah, definitely one to put in the team more than often. Alright, next Pokemon, basically 2 versions of it, either Magneton or Magnezone. Started in Sapphire, needed an electric type Pokemon, and Magneton was a good option in my head. I thought Electrike was a bit weird, and the Plusum and Minums, Pika clones, it sucked. So found a Magnemite. New Magneton looked cool in my mind. Forgot about the steel typing, so fire nerfed it quite a bit, but I thought it was a cool Pokemon. Put some Thunder moves on it. The animations at the time I thought were cool for Thunder moves, so I had it in the team. In later generations I would also take the Magnemite, get it all the way to Magnezone, an alien looking weirdo, but gotta love it, gotta love the power it had. Yeah, so Magnezone was one of my electric Pokemon choices, and I had it in many playthroughs. And we're on to the last one, which is Arcanine. First time in Red, I did a playthrough, not the first time after my first playthrough, I chose Venusaur because let's give it a go. And then I realised I needed a fire Pokemon. Turns out, in the first generation, not many good fire Pokemon, so decided to find the Growlithe, got it, raised it for ages, didn't realise you needed a Firestone, found a Firestone, got an Arcanine. Ever since then I've always loved Arcanine, thought it looked cool. I've always had dogs myself, so always had to have an Arcanine, call it after the dog I've got at the time. I've had a different one in different games, Haitian Arcanine. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. again, Arcanine just... There's not many really good fire Pokemon out there if you don't choose a starter, in my opinion. I wish Magmar was a lot stronger, but I always seem to play the games where he's not an option. Yeah, so those are my 5 that I would always end up coming back to. So, yeah. Alright, thank you for listening through me babble on about my top 5 used ones. Now, if there's any that you have used in your playthroughs over and over again, different generations, let me know. I'd love to have a chat about it. And yeah, thank you for listening. Cheers.